Now we're going to write the code for the Real Estate V1 application. So I'm going to open a blank Excel workbook here and go to the Developer tab and to Visual Basic. All right, now I want to write code that goes in the module for this workbook. So I'll double click here to bring up my code page. And I'm going to start with option explicit. Now I'm not going to put my banner comments in. The banner comments and a cleaned up version of this whole thing are already posted. But what I want to do here is show you in action, step by step, how you go about doing this. So the first thing I want to do is set up a procedure to create the headings when the workbook is opened. So I'm going to do that by using the workbook open sub that's provided in Visual Basic. And I'm going to put my headings across the top row. I need a comma there, not a dot. You can tell I'm reading off a copy of the code here that I wrote before. So dot value equals agent, if I can spell. Okay. So row 1, column 2, dot value equals neighborhood. This will be the sales amount. And finally, these things are in quotes because they're string constants. They're strings that I wanted to use. Oops. And I made a mistake. Turned it red because of that. You can see what I did. I forgot my close paren here. Okay, so it likes that. And now I want to make these fit, so cells dot. All right, it's showing me, excuse me, the options I could put here. I want columns, and I want autofit. And I'm pushing tab here to make it complete. Okay, now I want to test this. This automatically does its thing and is called when the workbook opens. But I already have my workbook open. I can still test it though by going to macros, choosing this, it's already picked, and just going run. Okay, and it ran, and here are my headings just the way I wanted them. So that's good. Now I want to write another one that will let me enter one line of sales. Now obviously, we'll eventually want to enter more than one line, but this is to get us going. So I'm going to call it sub sales entry. All right. I'll start by setting the commission rate. As double equals 0.06. You can see again it's nicely putting the 0 in front of the decimal. Okay, I'm going to put down my variables, so agent as string, neighborhood as string. Let's go to another line here. Dim sales amount as double, oops, sorry, and commission as double. Okay, now what I like to do next is put a comment for each of the major pieces of code that I'm going to write. So I'm going to get the data. Then I'm going to calculate the commission. and then I'm going to enter the data into the spreadsheet. Okay, so those are my major steps. So let's start with this one, get the data. So I'm going to use input boxes, and the agent will be what I get from an input box with the prompt. Enter the name of the agent. Okay. Now the neighborhood. Using the input box. Enter the neighborhood. Oh, by the way, you'll see there's various things here. These are different pieces of information, different parameters I could give the input box. The prompt is in bold here, and it's required. The others are in square brackets because they're optional. I'm only going to use the prompt. So I'm going to say enter the neighborhood. And now I want to use a 2-line prompt, but I can't put an actual carriage return here because that would mean ending the line in Visual Basic. So what I'm going to do is add, so ampersand, remember, sticks two strings together. I'm going to add a Visual Basic carriage return, and this is a string constant that gives me that. And then this line's getting a little long, so I'm going to continue it on to the next line. And I'm also going to put a list of the possible neighborhoods. I'll just put a couple here. First, or Irvington. So close that paren, close the main paren. Okay. All right, and I made a mistake here. And if you look carefully, you'll see I forgot to put an ampersand here. Okay, and once I do that, we're all good. Okay, so we still have one more piece of information. The sales amount. Enter the sale amount. Okay. So that's my information. Now I want to calculate the commission. So the commission equals the sales amount times the commission rate. All right, and now I'm going to put out the data on the sheet. So now I'll put it in rows, say 3. Whoops. Dot value equals the agent is the neighborhood I want the sales amount and commission, and finally I'll just get everything to autofit. Okay. Now I'd like to run this. Let's go back over to Excel. But let's create a button to make it run. So here on Insert, I can choose a button, and I'll just put it over here. I'll hook it up to the sales entry procedure, and I'll make it say something appropriate. Oh, yeah, there we go. Create entry. See if I can spell it. All right, let's try it. Oops. Okay. Neighborhood. Variable not defined. N-E-I. Misspelled it. Okay. This is why we declare things. All right, I'm going to do, I'm going to reset things. Go back to Excel and try again. Okay, the name of the agent is, put in an agent I know. The neighborhood. By the way, there's no checking. It's not making me put one of those. Sales amount, let's put our 200,000. Okay. And here we go. And we see that it's correct. All right, now of course there's more I could do. I could set up the format for the numbers and so on. But this shows you basically how to get everything working.